So what we'll be talking on this evening is be looking at data cleaning using Power BI, and we'll be dwelling on how to use Power Query extensively, Power Query Editor in Power BI. And the second part is we'll be using the financial data sets to answer real life questions. And so those are the two major things we'll be talking about in today's class. Then we round up with Power BI. So let me just load my data sets. The data set I'll be using is the IMF data set that we pull from the web the other time using web data connection, data source that we used the other time. So I created the report and I downloaded it to my local machine. So I'll be loading it up again from my local machine. Then we see we use it to learn how to clean our data set using Power BI. So this is the data set. So I'm going to load it. So it's coming up. This is the guy. So if you look at it, we have lots of blank spaces and we have a whole lot. So what we just need doing is you click transform data. When you want to do data manipulation, data cleaning, and all of that. So you do it from Power Query Editor. So when you click transform data, it brings your data set to a place called Power Query Editor. So it's within this environment that you do a lot of manipulation, a lot of transformation to your data set. Okay, so we start by looking at all the columns within our data set. If you look at the first column, you have column 1, column 2, column 3, till I think we have about 50 something columns, 57 columns, which is way too much. And if you look at it, our data set within this environment, we don't have header. It has given our data set a completely different header. We have column 1 as the header for this column, column 2 as the header for this column. So what we need to do is first of all to give our data set a header, to upgrade it. So, and the other time I told us that we can do it in 2 ways. The first way is to come under Home tab, then you locate use first row as headers. Use first row as header. So just in case you are finding it a little bit difficult to locate where use first row as header is, just come under beside your first column. You see this icon. It's table-like. So just click the drop-down icon beside it. Then you see use first row as headers. Use first rows as header. So I'm clicking use first rows as header. Then it will automatically promote our headers. Now, if you look at it, the column 1, column 2 has disappeared. Column 1, column 2, all of them, they have disappeared. They have disappeared. It has filtered them out. So it has promoted the right header to be the header of our data set. And that's the very first stage. If you remember when we dealt with data cleaning using Excel, one of the things we mentioned there was we remove unnecessary columns and unnecessary rows within our data sets. What are the unnecessary columns? What are the unnecessary rows? Unnecessary columns are the columns that when you remove them, or the rows, are the rows or columns that when you remove them from your data set, does not have any effect, any adverse effect on your data sets, whether during or before or during analysis. So, and those are the things we'll be taking, we'll be looking into. Those are the things we'll be looking into. So if you look at our data sets, we have a lot of unnecessary columns. This first one is WA country code, which is giving us country code of all the countries that we have within our data set. So I don't think that we have any effect when we start to analyze our data. Then the ISO doesn't have any effects as far as I'm concerned. Then the WO subject code, NGDP _R and all of that, all those things won't have any effects on our analysis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the columns that will not have any effect on our analysis. So I'm going to remove all of them at once. So I don't want to start removing them one by one. So I want to remove all of them at once, okay? So I've identified 3 columns that will not have any effect on our data set. So let's look at it further. So the second one is, we've identified 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. Then the fourth one is a subject descriptor. This subject descriptor too won't have any effect. Then the fifth one is the subject notes, the one that talks about expressing billions of national and all of that, story. They won't have any effect. The units, the scale, the country/series specific note. So all of this, about 7 of them, they won't have any effect at all on our analysis. So I'm going to be picking them one by one. Okay, I'm going to pick them one by one, and I will get rid of them. So I've picked all of them. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking the column one by one by holding down my control key. I've clicked the first column, so I hold down my control key and I'm clicking on all the columns. So when you hold down your control key, you can select as many columns as possible. So those are the columns I've selected. I've selected about how many of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. So I've selected 8 of them. Then I'll come to remove columns. Remove columns. So the moment I click remove columns, it's going to remove all the columns that I've selected. So beautiful. So it has removed all of them. You can see it has removed all of them. That's the first stage. Then the second stage is, okay, the second stage is this. Now, if you notice all these NA, they are not available, not available, not available. So then before we look into that, if you look at the first column, that's country, you have green. So if you place your cursor on that green, it's going to give you the summary of everything you have inside that column. And it's going to tell you the country 100%, 0% error, 0% empty. So if you move on to the second one, you see that it's not up to 100%. It is 87%, 13% empty, 13% empty. And likewise, other ones too. Same thing is applicable to other ones. So whatever we do to this column, which is 1980, will affect every other column. So let's just do remove empty. So we've removed all the ones that are empty. Now you can see that all these column, they are all green now. They are green now. You can see all of them. They are all green. Okay, estimate starts after. Okay, okay, we are coming there. Coming there. So now that one is gone. Okay, so how do we remove this non? Let me see. The error has been removed already. Okay, beautiful. So the non-available. So we need to remove the non-available. So how do we do that? So we can filter it out. We can filter not available, NA. So what you need doing is just click the drop down. That's a filter, and scroll down and check NA. Then we have one dash. Okay, I'm coming. So when you do that, you can see we've automatically filtered those ones out. We filter them out. Then within, I can see some dash too. Okay, maybe I should just remove the two of them the same time, so that I won't have to be doing two things in two different ways. So let me uncheck the two of them, the NA and the dash. So the NA and dash. So I filter them out, and it has affected everything. It's going to affect all of them. All of them. I'm not sure there's any other one that has a dash. Again, an NA. They've all been taken care of. Beautiful. So the next thing we need to do now is this. Now that we've taken care of all of them, so we can as well change the data type. We have our data type to be all number. Our data type to be all number. Come in, let me highlight all of them. Since they are all of the same data type, so I'm trying to highlight all of them. Okay, there's something here. There's some error here. Let me check. I don't know what it is. Okay, we have some errors. So remove errors. Okay. Beautiful. So let's remove the error here too. Remove errors. Okay, I think we are good. I think we are good. Trying to check. So you make sure that your data sets, each column has this green. And when you place your cursor there, it must be 100% valid. No error, no empty value. Okay, for some of these guys, I can still see dash. So I'm going to check all of them again. Okay, because I thought the first one I did will affect, but it did not. So I'm going to check all of them. Okay, look at this. Filter that out. I'm going to do for this one too. Okay. Let me do it like this. Let me remove this filter. Let me remove the filter. Okay. So what I will do is this. Since we are still coming there, So what we want to do now is this. We have several years. So we want to compress all those years and the values into two columns. So we have from from 1980 till 2026. So we want to compress all those columns into 2 columns. We want to compress them into 2 columns. And how do we do that? So we are going to use what we call on pivot.
How are you selecting all the columns?
You said?
How are you selecting this column?
Columns like that. Okay. Let me, a good question. It's either you hold down your control key and you start to click them one by one. You can see the way I'm doing it. Or you click one, once you notice that they follow each other like that, like this. You can see that all the years, they follow each other. So click the first one like this 1980, then hold down your shift key and use your arrow key, right arrow key. You can see it.
Okay, sir.
So once you hold down your arrow key, hold down your shift key, then you click your arrow key. So I've highlighted from 1980 till 2026, 1980 to 2026. So what I'm going to do is I will go to transform, then click on pivot columns. Now look at the definition. Translate all but the currently selected columns into attribute value pairs. That means it's going to translate all of them into just 2 columns. It's going to give you attribute columns, then it's going to give you a value column. Attribute column, value column. So all the years will be put in one place, and all the values will be put in one place. So that's what we are going to do. So I just click on it. You can see it compressed all of them into 2 columns. Compressed all of them into 2 columns. So I'm going to change this to years, then change this to GDP. Okay, and this year I'm going to change it to whole number, and this GDP I'm going to change it to fixed decimal. I've changed it to fixed decimal. Okay, now I think we are good. So the next thing I'm going to do now is, initially I saw some.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, I'm with you, sir.
I don't know if you can go back.
Okay. The way how I came about this.
Because how we now have this this column estimates start after.
Okay, no. This estimates start after was part of the data set. Okay,
that means it was not highlighted.
It was not highlighted. Yes, it was not. It was not highlighted.
Okay.
Yes, it was not highlighted. So it was at the end. So I did not highlight it. So I left it. Okay. I think we are all good, right? Beautiful. Now, and we can as well push this estimate start after. We can push it to the back. So how do we do that? So you click it and you come to move. You can see move to the end. I've moved it to the end. Or if you want to move it to the right. You move it a bit. I've moved it to the right, so I can move it to the left. So it will come in a bit. Move left. Move to the beginning. You can see. So I want to move it to the end of my data set. So you can see. Then this one is, what's the issue? What's the error? Let me check what the error is. Okay, 18% error. So remove it. Okay, now.
But sorry, I want to ask a question.
Okay, sir.
Because most of the time when we are dealing with live data.
Yes, sir.
and it's bringing out error.
Okay.
I'm thinking that just say remove error. Whereas removing it may even have another impact.
May have
because
issue. Okay, I know. So you are looking at, okay, we should inspect it first.
Yes, to
If
know
it's,
that
if
what
there's,
is even
if
causing the
it's,
error, what
if
kind of
it, if
error.
it's, if there's no error, if it's not error, if the guy won't tell us there's an error. The guy wouldn't have told us there's an error. Okay, maybe let me take it back to O number. If I take it back to O number, you can see it's still telling me there's an error. You know, initially it was O number. Okay, let me take it back before we rename the column. Okay, it was here. So it's no error here. So let me check. Why is it giving us error?
I think that is
okay, probably because I changed data set. Sorry, I changed the format. Right, because I changed the format. Let me change this one to all number and let's look at it. No error here. So let me change it to fixed decimal. So no error too. So I'll call this one GDP. Then I'll call this one AHA. Look at it. It's bringing error again. I'm sure it's because I changed it. It's because I changed. It's because I changed the data set. Sorry, the format. Let me change this guy GDP. Okay, it's because I changed the format, because it's in O number. It's in O number. Oh, I now see. Okay. The guy was not in O number. I was mistaking that A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3 for O number. Okay, look at this. Look at this dash dash. Oh. This dash dash. I think this is one of the reasons, because it cannot convert this to a whole number. It cannot convert this to a whole number. I think that's why. Also, let me remove that and now change this to whole number. You can see now that there's no error again. It's because of that. So I can as well change it to fixed decimal now. Okay, that's a good one. So years, then change this to whole number. Okay, so I think we are good with this. So we just save it. Sorry, we close and apply, so that all the transformation, all the adjustments that we made can take effect. So that's the essence of close.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm with you.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before you close and apply.
Okay, sir.
Is it possible, for example, for someone to say, okay, let's say the line of GDP, that can I even do the sum?
Can you know the sum
from the Power Query Editor? Yes.
No, you can't know the sum from here. You have to move out from here to your report to know the total GDP.
Okay.
Here, this environment is just to do transformation, to do cleaning, to remove unnecessary columns, to remove duplicates and all of that. So this is where you do that. Then your calculation and all of that, your report, you do it from report view.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So let me
Welcome,
close
sir.
and apply. Then it's loading. Okay, good. Now, excuse me, we've loaded our data set. See our GDP, this is our GDP, this is the years, and this is the estimated. So we don't even need that. So like your question, can we know the total GDP? So we can use our card. There's a visual called card. So once you click it, then just click your GDP. So the guy will give us the total GDP. This is the total GDP for all those countries. 308.6 trillion dollars. That's the GDP. Okay. Any question?
Okay. My question is this. You know why I mentioned the issue of if I can know the total.
Okay, sir.
You know, at times in the course of trying to clean data,
yes,
someone can mistakenly delete.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Part of the data.
Yes.
But then it's whereby from the raw data,
okay, sir.
I know the total value.
Okay.
So before I say I'm clicking and applying,
okay,
I'm thinking that a way for me to be sure that I hope I've not deleted what I'm not supposed to delete. For example, if the total value from the original source is 5 billion,
okay,
but the cost of me doing cleaning and the rest, some things got omitted. And at the end of the day, I'm now at 4.9 billion, thereabouts.
okay.
So I'm thinking that if there's a way someone can do that adjustment before
to note it
apply.
first.
Okay.
To note it first, to note all the critical values so that we won't get rid of them in the during cleaning. Is that what you're saying, Sam?
Yes.
Okay, you can load your data first. You get it, sir? You can load your data first. When you load it in this environment, you can pick your GDP. Because when you load it first, it may not give you accurate results depending on how you want to do your analysis. Nobody will know whether you are doing trial by error first, because what you are going to be presenting is your final result. So it all depends on how you want to go about it. You can first of all load it and look at it. You get that? Then you can now take it to transform data, that's Power Query Editor, to do all your cleaning.
Okay.
Did you get it, sir?
Yes, I got it, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other question? I think from this data set, these are GDPs minus. I hope I'm right. The accountant in the house.
Come again, sir.
I think this GDP is minus.
Yes, it's negative.
Negative, yes. So that's what we are giving. So nobody should ask me how we came about with negative.
Yeah. I want to ask, are we going to get this file so that we can work our own too? This file you're using.
You can download it from that website. Okay, don't worry. I will prepare the report, then send you the link. Then you can download it from there.
Okay, sir.
Did you get it? What I'm going to do is I will prepare the from that website. I'll prepare the report. So I will just get the URL till that point that you prepare the report. All you just go there to do is just to download it.
Okay, sir.
Did you get it? So instead of you starting from the beginning to prepare the report, some people may get the whole thing mixed up. So I will have prepared it then send you the link to just open that report. When the report has been prepared for you, you just click download and download this all data set to your local machine.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful. Any other question? Okay, so if there's no other question, this guy is telling me that I think that it has put me back on 40 minutes. So in another 2 minutes, it may log us off. So once it logs us off, then we can still come back with the same link. Okay, I will resolve this during the week. Okay, so if there's no other question, I think I've loaded the other one. Okay, the previous one that we were working on. So this is the one we are going to use to answer real life question. Like Dr. rightly said the other time, can we know the GDP? Can we do all of that? So we are going to be, each and every one of us will look at it together and come up with real life question. And we use this financials data set to answer all those questions. Okay, maybe which of the years they have the highest sales? Which of the years they have the highest profits, the cost of goods sold, and all of that. So what is the total discounts, gross sales, and all of that? So we'll be looking at all of that in this second part. Okay,